destroying straight black men because straight black men are speaking out now. They're finding a voice. And he talks about that, and he's not even qualified to talk to no straight black man. They want to set division between black men and black women.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine.
Peace and blessings, everybody. I'm Damon K. Jones, and welcome to another edition of the Publisher's Desk, powered by Black Westchester Magazine and blackwestchester.com. And you could go to blackwestchester.com and get our free e-magazine. If you're in the Westchester, New York area, Northern Bronx, Connecticut area, you could go to the website and actually find the locations where our papers are at. But if you're not in New York, and if you're not in those areas, you could go on blackwestchester.com and download the free e-paper. It's the news with the black point of view. So let me start off saying this clearly. Black men are not the problem in the black community. Black straight men are not the problem in the black community. See, and the fact that there are trending conversations tells you how far we moved away from logic into a broken narrative, into emotional feelings. Because you know what? At this point, it's easy to blame black men. And it's harder to truly analyze the conditions in the black community. See, right now, there's a clip circulating on social media from a podcaster named Funky Deneva, a man named Funky Deneva, claiming that straight black men are responsible from everything from violence and broken homes. And like most content, brothers and sisters, this is designed to trigger emotion and not deliver truth. Check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has now come to the time that we have a conversation. I have been saying for years on this show that black men need to have a conversation, black men alone. We have got to figure out what is going on with us. This is not something that black women can help us with. This conversation does not include black women. Black women, stand down and stand to the side. Black men need to have a kumbaya amongst themselves, and I'm going to niche this out a little more. And it's heterosexual black men. I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna say it out loud with my whole chest. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. That's where it starts and that's where it stops. Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all something. All this shit that y'all got going on, some of y'all, not all of y'all, with the gays and with the trans, let it go. Your issue is not a trans woman. Your issue is not a punk or not a sissy. Your issue is all of our issue. Straight black men. Straight black men are the enemy to the gays. Straight black men are the enemy to the trans. Straight black men are who are causing harm to the girls and the women. That's where it's at. Now y'all can shoot the messenger. Y'all can call me all type of faggots on the Shade Room and all the other blog sites that's gonna pick this up and I'll eat it. But you'll never see a situation where girls and women walking around saying they scared of the gay boys. They scared of their life for the gay boys. They don't want to be around the gay boys. It ain't us going around with these fragile ass egos, can't take rejection. We've got to ask ourselves, and I don't even know if the black straight male collective can even answer this question because their egos tend to be so fragile. How is it we are raising boys with these fragile ass egos that feel it is okay to slam girls on their head for saying no? Why is it that we have to make the females of the community make all the adjustments? It's not fair. Straight black men are the cancer of the black community. Argue with your mammy.
Now let's deal with what he actually said, brothers and sisters. What you're seeing in that clip is a list of real problems. Violence, broken homes, dysfunction. Those are real issues in the black community. But here's the problem. He took multiple complex problems and assigned it to one group, to straight black men. See, that's not a true analyst of the problem. That's aggregation for blame. That's scapegoating, because maybe he has some real issues with straight black men. See, because if we're being honest, every one of those problems have multiple causes: economic conditions, educational failures, cultural incentives, policy decisions, family structure breakdown across the board. You don't get real solutions by collapsing it all on the back of straight black men. That's gaslighting. That's in your feelings. That's in your emotions. Saying black men are the problem, saying straight black men are the problem, that's not how cause and effects works. Here's a deeper issue. When you label a group as the problem, you remove the need to examine systems, initiatives, and shared responsibility. Now everything becomes emotional instead of logical. See, what we're dealing in this post is emotions. We're not dealing logically or in reality. See, black men altogether have faced measurable challenges that are documented, not debated. Higher incarceration rates, barriers to economic opportunity, disparities in education, and consistent negative portrayal in the media, just like this guy's doing. Those are conditions. Now ask yourself, how do you remove opportunity from a group, limit access to stability, and then blame the same group for the outcome? That's emotional logic. That's not real logic. It's just emotions. See, we can't have circular reasoning. And at the same time, there are millions of black men working every day, providing, raising families, mentoring young people, building businesses, holding communities together. They just don't go viral. See, positive black men don't go viral on social media because the game is to attack straight black men. And they use this type of person to facilitate those type of actions against straight black men. Because straight black men who have a conscience and that are healthy, is dangerous to this type of society that we have today. That we got a man of another persuasion gonna tell straight black men that they need to have a talk. What are we talking to you for? What are we talking to you for? What is a straight black man, a healthy black man standing 10 toes down in God? What conversation do we have to have with you about raising families, about being men to our children, about being men in the community? Who are you to tell straight black men that we have a talk? Us. You're not part of us. Black men are not the problem. And we're not going to allow you to even suggest some silly list like that. And what is he talking about? That the black woman doesn't have an issue with the trans woman. A trans woman don't even recognize the black woman as a woman. They call her cis women. What is this guy talking about? They should have issue with that. They should have issue with men going into the women's bathroom with their Johnsons swinging out left and right. They should have issue with that. They should have issue with trans men wanting to play sports with their daughters. They should have an issue with that. Are you serious? That straight black men is the issue when trans women are trying to replace black women? You're trying to twist the narrative towards black men while you defending trans women replacing black women. That is unacceptable. And as a straight black man, I'm saying we're not having it. We're pushing back also. Now, if you want to have a conversation, you have a conversation, but not cause up the problem. Because this society tried to elevate you over straight black men. That you even have the unmitigated gall to even say you need to talk to straight black men. So let's ask the real question. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I need it for clarity. When are we having conversations about the role of black men in building families, leading households, and stabilizing communities? Are we hearing from the voices that actually live that responsibility? Do you know anybody like that? See, because perspective matters. And maybe your perspective is a little cloudy. If we're talking about fatherhood, marriage, protection, and provision, that conversation has to include men who actively operating on those roles and producing outcomes. And the question is, why do they have to talk to you? Are you producing marriage, fatherhood, marriage, protection, and provision? What are you producing? Every perspective do have value, but you can't talk to a straight black man if you're not living a straight black man's life. Let's get it right. Now let's get a little deeper. This narrative doesn't just come from outside of the community. It gets reinforced in the community as well by some women. That's why when you look at his post, women are responding. And this is not attacking women. This is about understanding incentives. We live in a time where media, politics, and social platforms reward division. Content that blames black men gets attention. Attention becomes influence, and influence becomes opportunity. So people repeat what gets rewarded. But there's another layer to this, that the same narrative is sometimes used as a personal scapegoat. If we're dealing with individual decisions, the blame gets generalized. Instead of asking, what is the choice that lead to a situation? That answer becomes, black men are the problem. That's not accountability, that's deflection. Now let's deal with the data. According to the US Census data analyzed by Black demographics, only about 31% of black adults are married. And roughly half has never been married. That is not a single group issue. That is a community issue. And not only that, it says 27% of black women are married. 34% of black men are married, compared to 48% overall. 49% of black women never been married. 50% of men have never been married. So what are you talking about? If 31% of black men were married and 51% of black men has never been married. So who was the problem? Who was the problem? How is black men the problem? You're in that 51% of black men that never been married. So the numbers don't match your emotions. So when people isolate black men as the cause, they ignore the full picture. And that's how narrative works. They simplify the reality to make the blame easier. See, we saw the same thing with Kamala Harris and President Trump. The first narrative they pushed was black men were responsible of her loss, when black men supported her more than any other president. She got more votes than Joe Biden. Black men were there. See, but this white liberal supremacy that black people push, and even those that are in the alphabet community are now pushing about straight black men, that tells you that this is not about the truth. It's about destroying straight black men, because straight black men are speaking out now. They're finding a voice. And he talks about that, and he's not even qualified to talk to no straight black man. They want to set division between black men and black women. This is what we see is opening up now between the politics when dealing with black people demanding results from their politics. Now they want to divide the black woman from the black man, the straight black man. This is the plan. And let me say something clear. This isn't an argument that black men are perfect. No, there's a lot of bums out there. But every group has responsibility. But responsibility is not the same as being labeled as the problem. Accountability asks what needs to improve. Blame declaims who is at fault for everything. This is insane. But this is what social media has got our people going crazy. So the bottom line is this. For any podcaster that want to come out and blame straight black men as we are the total problem, see, that's not being serious about building strong communities. No, that's just catching likes and clicks and shares. Stable families produce better outcomes. And that's not just a responsibility on straight black men. That's a responsibility on black women too. We both have to come to the table being honest and accountable for our actions. This is to continue the divide between black man and the black woman. We can no longer stand that because the scriptures tells us two are better than one. But it seems this society wants to break that up. Tell the black woman that the black man is the problem. Tell the black man that the black woman is the problem. And then you got silly, broken people on both sides giving narratives on social media, doing the devil's work. When God wants us to be together, the devil wants us to be separate. So no, the black man is not the problem. The straight black man is not the problem. The problem is a culture that rewards blame over solutions. The problem is narratives that divide instead of build. And the problem is choosing what trends on what actually works. If we want stronger communities, we have to stop asking who's to blame and start focusing on what produces result. See, blame might trend, but results is what builds black communities. And if you believe in truth over narrative, if you like what you heard, please like, share, leave a comment. This is the Publisher's Desk, sponsored by Black Westchester Magazine, blackwestchester.com. Please go to our website and download our new e-paper for all those who don't live in the Westchester, Bronx, and Connecticut area. And as always, I leave you, I say, stay blessed, stay safe, and stay blacktastic. Peace out.
Black Westchester's New Spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it now at blackwestchester.com. We appreciate you taking the time to engage with real conversations, real issues, and real perspectives that matter to Black America. Stay connected, stay informed, and as always, we'll see you next time at the Publisher's Desk. It's going to be blacktastic. If you're serious about political clarity and independent thinking, this is for you. The Political Thought Bundle includes 3 full books, all personally singling. Democrats and Republicans, The Ultimate Gangbangers, breaks down how the two-party system operates like a legalized street war for power. Emotional Politics, Logical Failure exposes how emotion has replaced strategy in Black political engagement. Tolerance is for Coward lays out a blueprint for extended policing and community-led public safety rooted in outcomes rather than slogans. 3 signed books. One bundle, $60. That's a $75 value, and you're getting signed copies included. This isn't left versus right. It's results versus rhetoric. Go to twosteppublishing.com and secure your signed Political Thought Bundle today. It's going to be blacktastic. For more than a century, Black America built its own economy under segregation, under discrimination, and under conditions most people today cannot imagine. We built businesses. We built banks. We Bought Land and Property. In The Forgotten Blueprint, Damon K. Jones reveals how Black communities created thriving economic systems from 1800 to 1965 and why that blueprint still matters today. This book challenges the idea that our future depends on politics alone and shows how ownership, family, and enterprise once powered Black prosperity. The blueprint is not lost. We just stopped using it. The Forgotten Blueprint. How Black America built its own economy from 1800 to 1965. On sale now at Two-Step Publishing and Amazon. Black Westchester magazine has been giving our community a voice, reporting the stories others ignore, holding power accountable, and making sure the truth about our communities is told by us. But independent Black media only survives when the community supports it. If you believe in real journalism, community accountability, and keeping Black voices strong in local news, we need your help. Your donation helps us continue covering the stories that matter: politics, education, justice, and economic empowerment right here in Westchester. Support Black media, support Black truth, support Black Westchester magazine. Donate today and help keep Black media alive. Because Black-owned independent media is Blacktastic. Black Westchester magazine presents People Before Politics, the Sunday Rundown, every Sunday at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Join Damon K. Jones, A.J. Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as they break down the biggest stories in politics, culture, and community from a Black point of view. No spin, no party loyalty, just logic, accountability, and outcomes. If it impacts Black America, we're talking about it. Tap in, subscribe, set your reminder. This Sunday at 6 p.m. is going to be Blacktastic.
This is the Publisher's Desk with Damon K. Jones, brought to you by Black Westchester Magazine, where life, culture, community, and faith meet truth, power, and purpose.